Hey everybody, it's your man Tyke coming to you with another true spook story. Now, before I begin, I want to ask that you hit that like button, don't subscribe to the channel, and share me with your friends and family if you're thinking not robbery. Now, this story is going to take place between Apopka, Florida, and Orlando, Florida, mainly the street we call Hiawassee. So it's going to take place between Silver Star Road and expand the whole damn thing all the way up there to uh Apopka, which is like 436 and shit. So when you get here, 436 Silver Star Hiawassee is run between now. So I had to be about I want to say I had to be about 25, 26, and I was chilling over there, and I was chilling because on our like we would pass Wakava High School, and I would make a left into these houses back there, and we would be chilling on the porch, smoking weed, doing that shit, just hanging out, niggas being niggas, kids being kids, well, young adults being young adults. It was just a good damn time. So one day, we over there chilling, the air just felt different. It felt different. So then two white dudes that live in the area, they come over there. I mean, they had tattoos, skeletons, shirts on and shit, and they couldn't be no more than us. We all the same age. So they come over there and they came over there with the bullshit. Oh, what the fuck you got this nigga over here? What you got this colored boy over here? And all that shit, because we was at one of our Puerto Rican friends' house and shit. So it was basically like, man, why you tripping, dude? Stop being racist, hit this bitch, smash this motherfucking blunt. So they kept on just sitting there saying odd shit. Just they smoking weed with us and shit. They drinking with us, and then they just kept saying, "I bet your lips so big you can cover the whole motherfucking blunt." Ha ha ha. So the shit started pissing me off, right? Because I'm like, okay, my man, we cool and shit, but these the type of niggas you hang around with. Now I gotta start judging your character. So they just kept on. So I let that shit go on for about an hour or 2 hours and shit, because we was enjoying the music, we was partying. So I'm like, okay, it's time for me to haul ass. I gotta go, you know. So when I got ready to go to get up and haul ass, one of them came up there and they got in front of me. He crossed his hands and he looked at me and he was like, this was the biggest one. I don't know their name, people, I promise. He crossed his hands and he was like, yeah, fuck nigga, what? I say, man, you still on that racist shit? Like, yeah, what's up then? You shouldn't even be over here. Shouldn't your ass be on Ivy Lane Road, Mercy Drive? He's saying all kind of cliche shit like that to me. So, I mean, I'm 20, 25, 26. I ain't got no chill, no understanding. So first thing I do, I look at my little Spanish homeboy and I'm like, dog, I'm sorry. Y'all might not invite me back to this bitch. I gave him that subtle eyeball look on his ass. So when I looked at him, dude still had his hand crossed and shit, just like posted up, like, what you gonna do? Like, not letting me get to my car. So I turned around and I swung on his ass. I flipped him. Bam! So when I hit him, I got him dead in the bottom lip. I got dead in the bottom lip. I was trying to go for the top because I wanted to knock his front teeth out. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make that bitch look real fucked up for a while for, getting in my face, trying me like that. But I caught him in the bottom tooth, and I kind of loosened them bitches up because he started spitting blood. So then I knocked him out. I hit him with the left. So now me and him tussling and shit, and we going at it. I'm flipping him, I'm throwing him, and all that shit. That we getting it. His brother, cousin, whoever, the other little white boy that was with him runs over there and shit. So now all on jumping me. They kicking me in the ribs. They like just, I mean, they just really putting walking the dog on me and shit. But I know not to fall. My daddy and my grandma say, boy, if you ever fall when a nigga fighting you, say he gonna walk the dog on you. Walking the dog in the South mean he gonna kick you to death. So even though them legs was hurting, I was staggering. They would jump kicking me in the back and shit. They jump kick me like fucking Bruce Lee. I fall on the car, boom. Then I turn around and put my guards up and I throw one or two punches connect. But that shit went on for like 4 or 5 minutes. So by the time me and need to meet, I got through fighting these two dudes. The police had came up. So when the police came up, I put my hands up. I ran on the other side of the car and put my hands up to get distance between me and the cat. And the cats kept like, then they got even bolder and brasher when the police came. But they start punching on the Puerto Rican dude car and like smashing that bitch like Incredible Hulk. And the police also like, calm down, calm down, calm down. And I'm running like behind the police officer, about to run into the road behind the police cruiser, cause this bitch is going belligerent. Until the police kept holding his hand, telling him, calm down, just stop it. I got this. Let's talk about this. What's going on? What's going on? So the secondary police officer unit came up, and that one there, that's when he talked to me. He pulled me by his car, and I'm all scratched up, clothes all matted and shit, dirt in my hair. The other dudes, they all bleeding and shit out the face, and so they like, so what went on? Now get this, people. This is some flow shit. My Spanish homeboy, who I went over there to see, and the two white dudes said that we was over there, like said that I came over there to sell them some weed. Although I was selling weed at the time, but I just came over there to smoke with him. They all linked up and say I came over there selling some weed, and when they come pay me, I got into a tussle with them and I fought them. So now I ain't got no weed on me, no weed residue, but I'm high as fuck because we all been smoking for like 2 hours. So everybody, smelling like weed like that. So I'm like, man, no. I say, bro, I came over here and we all just smoke weed together. He like, no, that was your weed. That was your weed. So the white police officers take him over there and they talk to them in private, real low and shit. Whoop, whoop. So now they come back and they put me in handcuffs. I say, what the fuck is going on, officer? I say, man, it's two people on one. I say, and even when you came, they were belligerent, talking about how they hate niggas and how they gonna hurt me. I say, man, what's going on? Why I'm in handcuffs? Like, oh, you trafficking this substance over here, and I say, so what you mean I traffic, bruh? I say, I did not traffic anything. I say, I came over here to see my homeboy. I say, and we all drank and smoked for the past 2 hours. That's not what they say, and it's three against one. And they said, so I'm looking at the dude, and I'm getting in the car. I'm looking at my Spanish homeboy, like, fuck nigga, when this shit is over, I'm gonna hurt you. Nah, I didn't know my rights at that time, that they could not arrest me if they didn't have any like drugs or some shit. So just a word of mouth. Three people could say you got crack, that you just sold them some crack, but if the police don't see you selling them crack, or they can't find the actual crack or the weed or some shit like that, they can't take you to jail or press charges against you off of word of mouth. He say it has to be evidence. So the police dude put me in the back of his car, and he telling me all this shit. Yeah, man, you going down. You shouldn't be selling dope around here. This is a nice neighborhood, and then you come over here and you want to fight the people here. Say that's what's wrong with you people. I'm like, what the fuck you mean, you people? And back at the age of 26, there wasn't no body cams, so they basically got away with slapping you around, just putting shit on you, man. It was a horrible time for me. So I end up shutting up. I'm like, let me not say nothing. He questioning me, trying to be my friend, driving me past McDonald's. You had something to eat yet? I say, no, man. I say, I left my car over there to them people's house. I say, and them people tried to hurt me, man. I say, now they gonna hurt my car. I say, are y'all gonna tow my car? At least get it out of here. I could get it from the tow. And he said, yeah, we can do that. So he radios to his buddy to have them tow my car. So now they done towed my car down there to Johnson Record off of Colonial and shit, because that was the closest record at the time. So I'm like, thank you. He's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna work with you, bro. I'm gonna work with you. He's still trying to get me to incriminate myself, but I ain't stupid. So I shut up. They take me in there. So I'm going up in the thing, handcuffs. They drive me in this little carport thing and shit, and they roll down the doors, and they make me stand on some shit that I gotta stand a certain way, face the wall while they check me in. All that shit. So I'm quiet. You ain't got nothing to say. So now I done got to the point where they done fingerprinted my ass. I'm going in the 33rd, people. They done fingerprinted. So while they fingerprinting, and this is where the mystical shit finna start. This is the creepy shit. So an Indian dude, I mean, feathers in his head. Bitch had a Kevin Gates feather in his head like that. Two or three of them bitches. And he had on the little turquoise little stones and shit, and he looked real Indian. but he had on like regular clothes like us, like a suit and tie shit, but not a tie. But he was decked out. So he walked past me, and as he walked past me, I don't know if he was a bounty hunter or a U.S. Marshal, because he was back there with all the cops and shit, where all the handcuffed people were. So he walked past me and he patted me on the shoulder 2 times. And he patted me on the shoulder 2 times, and then he patted the officer that was arresting me, on the shoulder 1 time, and he squares to the top of the police officer's shoulder, like where the muscles from the neck and the shoulder connect, the deltoids, I think they call them. Don't get me the line, man. I don't know these body parts like that. But he squares him right there, and the guy looked back and he smiled at him. And then, as the Indian dude was walking out the door, they was like ready to let him out. He looked at me and he like nodded his head like, "You coming?" And I was like, "Oh." I say, I'm being like, I can't do nothing. So now the officer that arrested me, that had me all the way down to central booking, the booking part, he takes the handcuffs off me. He gave me my bag of stuff back, and I followed the Indian dude out the door. He say, "All right, man, I'm not gonna charge you with this. We just gonna let you go." He say, "Just go get your car out." It's like his old demeanor changed. I'm like, damn, that's what's up, So I'm like, for real, I'm so scared and shit. When they open the door, bitch, you sure I can walk out this motherfucker? Is this a trick? So I walk out, and the Indian dude, Barney Hunter Marshall, man, he waited right there. So when I walk out and stuff, I got, put my shoes back on and shit. I have to lace my shit up outside. He was like, "You need a ride?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he said, "Where you at?" I say, "Well, they got my car at Johnson Record over there, Colonial." He said, "Come on." So I get inside this big ass truck, AC blasting, dude, feeling good. I'm smelling all kind of music, and then I see the word Ochoisi written on a piece of paper on his dashboard, like on a clipboard. And I asked him, I say, "Who is Ochoisi?" Because I'm looking around a bit. I say, "Who is Ochoisi?" He said, now people, listen to what I'm going to tell you now. He said Ochoisi is his Indian, like Indian totem or Indian father, for like an Indian saint spirit, father spirit for justice. And he said that when he decided to become a U.S. Marshal, he decided to adopt the energy of Ochoisi. And he said the way it works is if he sees, he used the eyes of Ochoisi, so Ochoisi affects the eyes, people, and the ears. He said, if I use the energy of Ochoisi to discern my potential victims, I don't want to use the word victim, assailants or prey. I look like bounty hunter talk. He said that Ochoisi won't let me make a heinous move, or won't let me arrest people falsely. And he said, "I see that you was falsely arrested in there, so that's why, I use the power of Ochoisi to get you, to set you free, because that's what Ochoisi does. He'll set you free." And I'm running, and I'm driving, and I'm looking, and I'm thinking, like, Ochoisi, I never heard of these names, and I'm like, okay, I gotta look this shit up. I'm just 26 at the time, so I ain't hear nothing. I ain't know too much about it, that Orisha. I know about the Oguns and the Lekbars and Oshuns and Yemoyas and Shango, but I ain't know nothing about no Choices. So I say, okay. So he drops me off at Johnson Record. He say, "I need you to keep that pure heart you got." He say, "It's gonna take you a long way." And he say, "You have a good one, brother." And he pulls off. I never looked, never met him again, never saw him again. Whatever. Nah, I done got my car back, people. So I go around to grandma's house to tell grandma what just happened. Grandma. I say, I met an old Indian dude, man, a bounty hunter, renegade. I say, and he was talking about some dude named Ochoisi. I say, "Who is Ochoisi?" And grandma instantly went cold. She said, "Ochoisi." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Who talking about Ochoisi?" I say, "The Indian bounty hunter man that got me out of 33rd. And she was like, "What you doing down there?" I say, "Grandmama." I say, "Them white boys over there jumped me with the Puerto Rican friend you don't like." "Oh, yeah, I told you stop hanging around with that idiot. So you got what you deserve. But tell me more about this Ochoisi nigga." I said, "Grandma, the man, he had Ochoisi name ran across a clipboard on his dashboard. Said he was an Indian bounty hunter, and he used his eyes and his ears use Ochoa to possess his eyes and his ears in order to, discern who's right and who's wrong. So people tell me why grandma described the man down to a T. Here we go now. This shit finna get wild. So grandma described the man down to a T. She say, did he have that little feather in his ear? And he said, did he have that little feather in his ear with the little hammer on it? I say, yes, ma'am. She said, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Say he wasn't no short Indian. He said he was tall, pretty tall. I said, yeah, I give him about 6'1", 6'2". Mm-hmm. She said, did he say anything about me? I say, about you? I say, no, he just got me out of jail. He said, I used to date him. I say, what? I say, that man got to be 50, grandma. You in your 70s. She say, bitch, don't count me out. I say, so you dated the little Indian bounty hunter man? She said, yeah, my younger date. He was a young boy. She said, who you think taught him? I say, grandma. She said, your great grandma got Indian blood in her. I said, oh. So I'm powerful. I'm just saying, oh, because I don't know if grandma lying at this time, people. I'm just sitting the fuck up here trying to get my story out, and she need to tell me who Ochoa is. So grandma broke it down. Grandma say back in the day when he was a young dude, about 30 years old, 20 years ago, the Indian dude, came into the hoods where she was, and out of in the hood where she was, to try to to learn her magic from the black community, because it was at that time it was a lot of Indian magic going on in the black community, but this particular one here, he aired towards Yoruba, Ifa, all that stuff there. So grandma said he ended up taking a liking to her because grandma was bad back in her day, y'all. So grandma said she told him, and she like had sex with him and all that shit there, and then she prayed for him. And every time they would pray, like she would always see bow and arrows in Ochoisi. So she like said, told him, his guardian angel or Orisha was Ochoisi. And grandma said Ochoisi rarely come out the woods. Say once Ochoisi hurt somebody before, like he hurt his mother, uh, falsely accused his mother or something. So he ain't quick to react to choosing people or accusing people. So grandma said they got it on pretty good for about a good 4 5 months, and then said that she told him that he has to go and pursue a career in law enforcement, and that's what he did, and he became the U.S. Marshal for the reservation, the Indian reservations here in Florida and stuff, and with the state. So I grandma described him down to a T, everything. So I'm like, wow. Nah, that's the crazy part. That's a coincidence, right? So now that done passed. I'm driving around. I see the white dude who I hit in the mouth. I see him and the Puerto Rican dudes, him and his brother, whoever. They all chilling together. So we go up there to Checkers over there on Colonia and Powell. So I pull up in there. That's time, Checkers didn't really have a drive through. You can get out and you have to walk up to the window. So I see him over there, bitch ass nigga. So I'm like, what's up? I said, that's fucked up how y'all all teamed up on me and fucked me over, right? Said that's some real fucked up shit. And then they were like, dog, we was on one that day. I don't know, man. We was on one. My bad, dog. You good people, man. I was just tripping on some shit. And I said, nah, dog, it ain't no, my bad, yo good. None of that shit. I say, it was fucked up what you did. Yeah, dog, I eat that. I take that. You right, you right. So I ain't fight him or nothing. I just said some fuck shit to him. Got out of Dodge. So now I done say, let me go out and start helping the youth. I'm trying to change my life around. Getting cussed at other kids and shit. I'm trying to do everything right by the court now. So I say, let me start, get my life right. Start working for the youth empowerment, division, paramore kids on type energy. So I start seeing a lot of kids get in trouble. So now I'm like, damn, this is justice. So one of the kids' mama got in trouble because at that time in Orlando, if your kid don't go to school, the mama get in trouble or the parent get in trouble. So the lady was trying to make her son go to school, go to school, go to school, go to school. Son just saying, fuck you, no, 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 no. skipping, so they came and arrested the mama. So I tried to have a talk with the boy and all that shit, and the boy revealed that how he couldn't stand his mama. And I'm like, why couldn't you stand your mama? And he basically like, oh, my mama choosing men over me. You know, the typical, thing back in the hood when the women were trying to get a daddy for the kid. They had to spend more time with the dudes. I get it. So I say, okay, then, well, we need to talk. So now I start mentoring the boy, which was illegal, y'all. It was illegal for us to put kids in our cars and drive them around and, get them buying clothes and shit. Granted, it wasn't no malice shit going on, but, that before all this pedophile shit got cut loose. You can look at a young man, a young girl, the ladies could look at a young girl and say, let me buy you some makeup, lipstick, teach you how to get your hair fixed, your hygiene, that type of shit. So I start taking the boy around, buying him stuff, fixing him up. So I go to his mama and shit when she get out, and I say, hey, what's going on? So she crying, saying she can't take control of him, all that stuff there. So I go to grandma. I say, grandma, I say, why my spirit telling me I need to talk to old Choicy for this lady? I say, I think she finna DCF finna take her kids for wrongfully accusing her of something. And she say, who she is? So I told her the name. So me and grandma get in the Buick and we drive around now. So grandma drive around now. When grandma see her, grandma walk up to her like she know her. Grandma didn't know that lady from Adam House Cat. Grandma walk up to her like she been knowing her for all them years and give her a big old hug. Hey baby, how you doing? Kiss the lady all in her face, and the lady just break down crying, and she just outside telling grandma everything, and she's yelling real hard to the top of her lungs like grandma kissed the demon out of her ass or something. Her son is sitting in the car with me, and he overhearing this shit. I tried, but I can't do nothing for him. He think I don't love him, but I love him. He think I steal his child support money, but I use it on these bills. I ain't got nothing. She just kept saying, I can't even buy me bras or panties. I ain't got nothing. I gotta go stand in the food line to feed him. I ain't robbing him. I ain't taking his money. So, I slapped the dude on the arm. Like, man, you hear what your mama going through? And say this spiritual. And so the dude get to crying. Our people. I'm finna stop it right there. Now I done gave you a backstory of all the characters in this bitch. Now I'm finna help you out with something. This is the real nigga shit. This is how I know grandma real. Spirit of choice is real. So grandma say, let me go and call old Choicey to help you with your legal case. Let me go call old Choicey to help you with your legal case. Grandma said, we gonna fix this. I understand, baby. Me and grandma go home. Grandma get on the stove. She cook a plate of food, nice plate of food, and she made sure to give 3 bottles of water. 3 bottles of water. She said they need to be fresh, clean, and she told me to put them in the freezer till they get ice in them. And she cooked a plate of food. We went to the woods up there by Wellco, like right between Wellco, behind the little Magic Fry, right in that area. So we went up there and grandma unwrapped that plate. She set that plate down. Grandma got one of them little tea tree candles. She put that next to it and lit it on the concrete, and the plate was a little bit far off in the woods. She got 3 bottles of water with ice in them, and she opened them up. And she set them there. And she said, oh, Choice, I need you to reach your ass here and help me. Say some lady been wrongfully accused. Her son mad at her. So about 3 days later, we go back over there in town, over there to Palmo Kids on that energy there. We go back in town. And so we standing up there. And people, guess who pull up? The Indian in the truck. Yup. The Indian in the truck. So me and grandma say, just wait. He coming. Just wait. Oh, Choice, he coming. Just wait. But we sitting up there chilling. The same Indian. The same truck. Pulls up. Grandma gets out the car. The Indian take off his glasses and look around. What's going on? See grandma. He give her a hug. Ganju, how you doing, baby? And he got that Indian slur, so it sounded real cool. How you doing, baby? And shit like that. And she like, how you been? And she having a whole conversation. And grandma took off her real medical glasses and said, can you do anything to help this lady? And he looked at the woman and he went over there and he tapped her on her shoulder and squared her neck. And he like got behind her with 2 hands. He massaged her neck muscles, that area. And while he was massaging her neck muscles, it's like he went in a trance. He was like, okay, she can do a lot more, but I see. And he kept saying that. And he said, okay, I'll help her. And he had that Indian drag, like, I'll help her. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm watching this shit from a distance. So grandma said, what I owe you? He said, give me a kiss. And grandma kissed this man. Tongue kissed him down. Old lady, young Indian, 50-year-old nigga, lady 70 something. Tongue kissed this man down in front of the apartment complex. Tongue kissed him and he dipped her ass and everything. And he picked her up and she wrapped her legs around him. I'm like, damn, this old lady be fucking probably still. You know, I ain't think nothing. So she gave him the most passionate kiss. And when they got through kissing, wiped his mouth and he said, okay, it's done. So grandma get in the car. She walked back to the car with her jazzy little walk. Jesus Christ, lady. And she told me, don't judge me. So she get back in the car. So we driving. The truck follow us and it turns on OBT. It goes towards Kissimmee Way and we head towards Colonial Way. So about a month passed. I'm witnessing this shit. The lady go to court. I'm still mentoring her son. The lady walk out of the court like she free. And they ain't gonna charge me. They dropped all charges and they gonna be them in a new house. And they gonna help me get my credit straight. And she just rattling off all the shit to me and grandma in front of her son, everything. So I looked at her son. I say, boy, this is an opportunity for you to do right. The craziest shit freaked me out. People, I kid you not, this shit, and I ain't in it. My blood running cold. The little boy turned to me, and he spoke the same words that sounded just like the Indian that got me out of jail, that grandma kissed up on, that helped that lady with her case. His voice was the same. He looked at me and said, I'm gonna always be there for my mommy. He said, I was wrong for what I did to my mommy. He said, I'm gonna be there for everybody's mommy now. He said, I'm gonna make sure everybody gets justice and nobody goes to jail falsely. And he was saying that type of stuff, and I'm like, what's going on with your voice, little nigga? Nothing's going on with my voice. This is just me. He said, by the way, call me Ochoysi. And I'm like, so you Ochoysi now? So I'm like, this shit ain't getting too weird, you know? So he said, yeah. That little boy grew up right now to be one of the most powerful attorneys in Central Florida right now. I'm in my mid 40s. This man, 27 years old, young black boy. I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want to get sued and stuff. He is an attorney. I don't want to put his mom and him in his business out there. That boy grew up to be one of the most powerful defense attorneys for drug dealers and an advocate for anybody who has been falsely accused here in Central Florida. And he fights. And he has an altar only set up to Ochoysi. Grandma used to go over there and bless that man's altar. I used to walk in his house, his $1 million fucking house, right over there off in Lake Man area, them big time in Lake Man homes. Back there. Big ass areas. He got these big ass houses and I walk in there, me and grandma could walk in there like we friends and shit. And he got nothing but Ochoysi. No other Orisha, no other deity, is just Ochoysi. He said he is Ochoysi and he fight for justice, people. So I'm like, damn. So now, I done grew the little boy up and everything. So now, this is grown up version. So now I get into it with my ex-wife and shit. And, you know, I'm playing golf with him. So remember I don't know if y'all remember on one of the last recaps, I say that the judge released me on my own reconnects and because I be playing golf with him and stuff like that. We all in the same lodge, that type of shit. So I'm sitting up there stressing like, man, I'm finna face 15 years in prison for something I ain't do. I ain't touched this motherfucker because they still got to file the paperwork. Lo and behold, this young boy come around the corner. And let me tell you what he did to the judge. We all out there on the golf course. The judge keeping a good distance because he don't want to fuck up the case or not for me. So we all at the golf course, Plantation Golf Course in Lake Mary. So the young black attorney, young boy that I mentored, walks up to the judge, give him 2 taps on his fucking shoulder, and squeeze his neck muscles. And they go to laughing, and they shake hands, and they point at me. They shake hands again, and they walk off, and they play like 18 holes of golf. And I'm just following up behind them because they had their own quad. So I'm scared. I'm thinking I'm fucked up, people. I think I'm busted. This shit ain't gonna be right. Lo and behold, I get to court. They try to get me to sign a confession. I said nope. I said if I sign this shit I do one day, I might as well do 10 years because my life over with a felon like this. People, by the time I got downstairs, the case was thrown out. By the time I got downstairs and I'm pissed off, I'm mad, I go get me a sub from Subway and I eat the bitch and I'm like, man, my last meal gonna be Subways and shit. I'm tripping. So 2, 3 days later in the mail, case closed. So I couldn't believe it. I go back up there, the judge say, we don't talk about this. Case closed. I'm like, what? So I'm happy. The judge say, thank Ochoyce. And I'm like, with your choice now, because I know you got the Indian, and I know this dude, he the embodiment of Ochoyce. So in my mind, I'm like, with your Ochoyce. So I walk into Botanica San Miguel's right off of Pine Hills Road. Listen, I love Botanica San Miguel's. Remy, he's a great person, great guy. If you come to Orlando, Florida, please visit him. He's a great spiritualist, great spiritual teacher, and he cares. He's a kind man. I say that. So I go into Botanica San Miguel's Botanica, and I'm looking around, and I see a statue of an Indian squatted down. And I ask, Botanica San Miguel, I say, who is that? He say, oh, that's a Ochoyce. So I say, can I buy it? I lift it up. It was $35 for the little statue. I purchased the motherfucker. Okay, Ochoyce have been good to me, keeping me out of justice, out of trouble and shit. I get the statue home. I make an altar for it. The same altar I got right here. I make an altar for it. When I make an altar for it, I get a knock on the door. As soon as I burn the candle, as soon as I put 3 bottles of water, as soon as I finish cooking the food and put it up there, I get a knock at the door. Tell me why the Indian found my house and he came to my house. He took off his shades, his sunglasses, and he put them on my altar next to Ochoyce. I didn't tell that man where I live. Maybe he could have got it from, the county clerk's office. He walks in, he put his glasses on my Ochoyce altar. And I'm like, whoa. He looks at me and he passed me on the shoulder twice and squeezed my neck. And then he walked downstairs, didn't say a word, didn't say who it was. He just knew what he had to do. People, I still got them same sunglasses, and I still got the same Ochoyce statue. And I'm gonna let you go right there. We could talk about this in the recap. So I don't know if it was scary, but this is a one for Ochoyce. This has just happened right there. So y'all tell me, but this is a true story that happened to me in my life that dealt with Ochoyce, the Orisha for justice. All right, everybody, let me know what y'all think about it in the comments and on the recap. Please leave a message if y'all have any questions down at the bottom in the comments. Share me with your friends. Y'all know where to go. Like and subscribe if you're feeling the channel. But we're going to talk about it in the recap. Let's go. All right, everybody, I'm tight. Telling you guys sometime the truth is stranger than fishing, but it's the truth, no doubt. Take care. God bless and much love. Be good.